What's up, peeps? I'm from Group 6 and I'm Margonas. I'm the Lacerna and I welcome you to Contracts Made Easy. So, what I'm going to discuss in this series of videos is the general provisions of the contract. Specifically, I am assigned with Articles 1305 to 1313. So again, it will be about the general provisions of the contract, but actually, general provisions is Articles 1305 to 1317. And again, this is the only article I am assigned with, so I cannot cover all the general provisions. So first off, we tackle Article 1305. Article 1305 provides that a contract is a meeting of minds between two persons whereby one binds himself with respect to the other to give something or to render some service. So first off, what is a contract? From the article, it states that it is a meeting of minds between two persons. So when will this meeting of minds between two persons take place? It is when an offer by one party is accepted by the other. So here there is really a meeting between minds. And when we say two persons, it means that there will be at least two persons in the contract because it is impossible for one contract to exist when there is only one party. So next is we talk about the three stages in making a contract. So first stage is the conception or generation. Second is the perfection or birth. And third is the consummation or fulfillment of the contract. So first, what is conception? In conception, this is the stage where the parties begin their initial negotiation. Basically, this is the formation stage, and the ending of this stage is when the parties reach an agreement. And hence, this is also called the preparatory stage. Perfection or birth stage, on the other hand, this is where contract is said to have been born, and this is where the parties had a meeting of minds as to object, cause or consideration, and other terms and conditions of the contract. So this stage is basically the giving birth to the contract. Finally is the consummation or fulfillment. This is the last stage, which consists of the performance or fulfillment by the parties of their obligations under the terms of the perfected contract. Consummation here means accomplishment of the contract. So now we talk about the classifications of contracts, but we don't really need to dig deep in these classifications since these classifications will be discussed more in other articles. Article 1305 only gives an introduction to these classifications. So before we start, we must remember that the classification of contracts is not determined by the name of the contract, but by the intention of the contracting parties. So first, we have classification of contract by name, by formation or perfection, and by cost. Under by name in the classification of contract, we have nominate and innominate. Under by formation, we have consensual, real, and formal. And under by cost, we have onerous, gratuitous, and remunerative. What is a nominate contract? A nominate contract is those which have been given a particular name, for example, sale, barter, mortgage, lease, and agency. Innominate, on the other hand, are contracts which have not been given a particular name and not regulated by special provision of law. So this will be discussed in Article 1307. Consensual is a contract perfected by mere consent. Real, on the other hand, cannot be perfected without delivery. For example, commoditum, depositum, pledge, and also loan. And formal cannot be perfected without compliance with the special formalities or solemnities required by law. Otherwise, they are void. For example of these are donations, mortgages of real property. Lastly, we by BICOS. These are contracts that provide for exchange of valuable considerations. This, for example, sale where the seller delivers the object of the contract and the buyer pays the purchase price. Gratuitous, on the other hand, gratuitous on the other hand are contracts where one of the parties gives something or renders service to the other without receiving any equivalent or compensation. This is also called lucrative contract because it provides gain to the other party for free. Also, we have remunerative contract. These are contracts where one party gives something or renders service to another in consideration of the past deed done by the other party. Next, we have also classifications by liability or by person obliged. We also have by certainty or fulfillment, and we also have by status. So under the by liability classification, we have unilateral and bilateral. Under by certainty or fulfillment, we have cumulative and aleatory. And by status, we have executory and executed contracts. So first off, what is unilateral contract? These are contracts where only one of the parties is bound to fulfill the obligation. Example of this is promissory note. In bilateral, these are contracts where both parties have reciprocally bound themselves to fulfill their obligations in favor of the other. For example, if this is sale. In cumulative contract, it is the undertaking of the party considered to be equivalent of that of the other. For example, this is sale or lease. And aleatory, this depends upon uncertain event. So for example, if this is insurance. By status, we have executory and executed. So what is executory? This is a contract yet to be fulfilled at some future date, and executed are contracts which are already completed by both parties. Next, we also have classifications by dependence of one contract on the other, by form, by dependence on part of the contract, and by obligatory force. Under dependence of one contract on the other, we have principal, accessory, and preparatory contracts. Under by form, we have informal and formal. Under dependence on part of the contract, we have indivisible and divisible. And lastly, by obligatory force, we have valid, resistable, voidable, void or inexistent, and unenforceable. So what is a principal contract? These are contracts which can exist by themselves alone without depending on another. So you have lease, deposit, commoditum, and sale. And by accessory, these are contracts which cannot exist alone but must depend on another contract. So example of these are mortgage. And by preparatory contract, it is contracts entered into for the creation of another contract. So example of this is an agency. So according to form, what is informal and formal? When we say informal, it is not under seal or it does not require legal intervention. That is why it is also called social contract. Informal contract, it is a contract signed under seal in which there should be a written document about the contract. And we have indivisible and divisible under dependence on part of the contract. So what is indivisible? When we say indivisible, it is when each part of the contract is dependent upon the other. So you cannot perform one part of the contract independently. And next, we have divisible. When we say divisible, it is when one part of the contract can be independently performed. And lastly, we have classification of contracts by obligatory force. So we have valid, rescissible, voidable, void, and unenforceable. So when we say valid, it is a contract where all elements exist. And when we say rescissible, it is legal, but it caused economic damage to one of the parties or both of the parties. When we say it is voidable, the contract has a missing element, but it can still be enforced. When we say it is void or inexistent contract, the contract has a missing element and it cannot be enforced. And lastly, we have unenforceable contract. It is valid, but court do not enforce it. So that's all about the general provisions of the contract under Article 1305, and stay tuned for the other videos.